Okay, hi and welcome to the second of my Lockdown 2020 vlogs with a sort of vaguely cycling theme. Um, where to start about today? It's an amazing piece of news that's come at a really difficult time. A few weeks ago, the UK Transport Secretary announced a landmark package of support for cycling and walking in light of the COVID-19 crisis. And as part of that, I think it's a £2.3 billion package. As part of that, he implored cities around the country to act really quickly and put in place temporary cycling facilities to help people travel in a more environmentally friendly way and maintain social distancing. So my initial reaction to that was fabulous, brilliant. I wonder if it's going to happen in our city. I wonder how quickly it's going to happen in our city. I live in Liverpool in the UK, and we've already got okay cycling facilities. It's taken a while, and we're behind other cities like Manchester and London. But generally speaking, I think we were moving in the right direction. There was already a significant investment by the council into cycle lanes in and around the city centre. There's an ongoing £45 million programme to increase cycling and walking in the city centre and make it a much more car-free zone. So there's big infrastructure projects going on in the sort of King's Dock, Stanley Dock, 10 Streets kind of area. There's some great segregated cycle lanes in place there and nearing completion. There's some great Dutch-style segregated cycle lanes in the Baltic Triangle area. And there's a big project in Princess Avenue in Liverpool 8 where the central reservation of that road is having a cycle lane put in, and that's ongoing at present. But these temporary measures that are put in place are separate to that investment, and the city has been given £2 million to put these things in place really quickly. So I got up today, it's a Sunday, and Mrs. Everyday Cyclist pointed out, she said, hey, there's talk on our local Facebook group, Tube Route Uncovered, about cycle lanes getting put in on West Derby Road, which is a major route into town really. That comes in from the Ring Road from Queen's Drive and runs pretty much straight into town past the Royal Hospital. So there's a lot of chatter on the Facebook group about this, positive and negative comments as you would expect, from cyclists and non-cyclists alike. But I'm not going to get into all of that debate because it bores the hell out of me. It's even more boring than the helmet debate. So anyway, I thought my first instinct was amazing. Let's go out and have a little look at it. So I jumped on the bike, which you can see behind me now on the wall-mounted stand, which I can't believe I've got, to be honest with you. Mrs. Allen is a very understanding woman. Anyway, that's a little aside. Yeah, so I hopped on the bike, and it's only about a mile away from where I live, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. I turned the corner from Green Lane onto West Derby Road, and ahead of me, as far as I could see, segregated temporary cycle lanes. West Derby Road is a dual carriageway with two lanes on each side, and on one section on both sides of the road there is a full lane given over to cyclists, proper heavy duty segregation, big sort of barriers, really big red plastic barriers. I mean, I've been riding all my life, and I'm pretty confident on the roads and riding in traffic as well, but I appreciated the fact that I could ride up one of the main roads in town, or main roads into town, and feel really confident, eerily confident actually. I was riding along there and I was thinking, is a car just going to come up here? I'm dreaming this. But no, it's happening and it's real. And no, it's not perfect. It's it's been put in quickly, and no doubt there's going to be some friction, especially when traffic levels start to return to normal. But that's kind of the point. We want traffic levels to return to a different kind of normal. At least I do. Our Mayor Joe Anderson has been quoted as calling this terrible situation a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually change the way we move around the city, and hopefully that these kind of measures, this kind of infrastructure that's been put in place will start to shift people's perceptions. And yes, it might be inconvenient for drivers. And by the way, I am a driver and a cyclist and a pedestrian, so I'm not just speaking from one kind of gung-ho militant cyclist kind of stance. It will be frustrating for motorists, but history has shown that in cities around the world, the only way to kind of really affect this change is to make things less convenient. It's not a coincidence. It wasn't by magic that Amsterdam became a cycling city. They just made it really, really difficult to drive and to park in the centre of Amsterdam, and that was that. It wasn't some collective overnight decision on behalf of the Amsterdammers to do that. It was a deliberate and pretty draconian thing that happened over there. And this situation, this coronavirus situation, has made us think differently about so many different aspects of life. That and this is one of them. This is like Joe Anderson says, and it's not often I agree with stuff that Joe Anderson says. This is a major opportunity to change the way people move around. And if people are sitting in the cars in a queue and moaning and looking to their left and looking at this empty cycle lane, maybe there's a clue there. Maybe they should dust the bike off that's in the garage or in the shed, pump the tyres up, and try it. You don't have to be a cyclist to ride a bike. I think this is one of the biggest things that I sort of try and tell people, really. A lot of people say, well, I'm not a cyclist, I'm not fit, I'm not that. If you can walk, you can ride a bike. In fact, riding a bike's easier than walking, to be honest. And now is an opportunity to kind of do that and make functional journeys safer. It's a real functional route, this route that's been put in place. It's not one of these routes which has been woven through back streets and isn't really the kind of route that you would choose to take into town. This is a direct mainline route from the suburbs into the city centre, and it's been made safe for cyclists, and that's pretty much a dream come true for someone like me. It's something that I would never thought I would see in my lifetime, to be perfectly honest. And like I say, it's a start. It's not perfect. There are issues to be ironed out with it, no doubt, but it's fantastic to see this. The biggest thing that brought me joy as well was one of the signs, and I'm getting excited about road signs, what can I say? One of the signs said, instructed motorists to give way to cyclists before turning left. Now, I've never seen that kind of signage in this country. It's mandatory. It's just what you do in places like Belgium and the Netherlands and stuff like that. It's just part of the driving etiquette. But it's the first time I've ever seen that signage in this country, and it's a real revelation. So yeah, that's been my day. So yeah, I rode into town, rode through the parks in the south of Liverpool, which is going to be another part of this temporary cycling infrastructure. Did a loop around Sefton Park and then rode back on the same infrastructure back down Rocky Lane, West Derby Road, and back home. So I was out for about an hour and 15 minutes. Had a nice bit of exercise, blew the cobwebs off, and had a real eye-opener in terms of how quickly things can change. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about these measures. Do you think it's right that people should that we should be giving over this kind of road space to cycling? What are the pluses? What are the minuses? What's happening in your city? I'd be really interested to know what's going on in other cities around the UK and indeed around the world as well in response to this coronavirus pandemic. I'd be really interested to see that. But yeah, that's enough of me yammering on anyway. I hope you like this video. If you do, if you could subscribe to my channel and click like and click the old bell notification thing, that'd be marvellous. Great. Okay, see you again soon and stay safe.